U.S. Treasury bills, which are backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government, are paying a hefty rate of return. The 26-week and 52-week T-bills recently started paying an annualized yield of over 5%. That's pretty good, considering my high-yield savings account is only paying me 2.95%. In this video, I'm going to go over a few ways you can create U.S. Treasury ladders using Treasury bills, Treasury notes, and Treasury bonds on Fidelity to take advantage of some of these juicy returns. And I'm just showing you these examples on Fidelity because this happens to be my brokerage, where I do most of my investing. But if you use another broker like Schwab or E-Trade, I imagine the process would be fairly similar. In this video, I'm not going to be talking about the absolute basics of buying US Treasuries. I've made several videos about T-bills for beginners, like this one or this one. And I'll leave links to those in the video description. Be sure to check those out if you're interested. In the first part of this video, I'm going to be giving examples of ladders using new issue treasuries. And in the second part, I'm going to be talking about creating a ladder on the secondary market. All of this right after. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Learn to invest like a wolf at your own risk. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Wolves of Investing. My name is Donnie Nguyen and I'm the founder of Wolves of Investing. If you're new, I talk about anything on my mind related to personal finance and investing. If you want to learn how to achieve financial freedom through investing, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. And please remember to drop a like if you enjoy this video, as it truly helps out the channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first I wanted to talk about a few ways you can create US Treasury ladders from the New Issues tab on Fidelity, and some of the pros and cons of using this method. The first way is to simply create a 4-rung Treasury bill ladder using 4-week T-bills. To do this, you would simply log on every week and purchase a new 4-week T-bill. After 4 weeks, you'd be collecting interest payments every week from your T-bill ladder. You can also use the auto roll feature to have Fidelity keep this ladder going for you indefinitely until you cancel. The great thing about this ladder is that it's relatively simple to implement, and you'll be collecting interest payments every week, which is pretty cool. If you're used to using Treasury Direct, one downside is that you can't set this all up in one sitting, since this method only shows you a few days worth of Treasury bills at a time, whereas Treasury Direct shows you 2 months worth at a time. The other potential downside is that the minimum investment on Fidelity is $1,000, whereas Treasury Direct only has a minimum of $100. So if you're investing on a budget, Treasury Direct might be a better choice. Now, of course, you can set up your ladder any way you want. You can have a 2-rung 4-week ladder, which would pay you interest every 2 weeks, or you can set up ladders with 8-week, 13-week, 17-week, 26-week, or 52-week T-bills. And likewise, you can set up your ladder interval any way you want. You can have it set up for weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly, every 2 months, and so on and so forth. Notice that I'm not talking about using this feature to create a ladder with anything that has a maturity duration of longer than 52 weeks. For example, Treasury notes or Treasury bonds, even though they are available via new issues. And the reason for that is because you won't know exactly what rate you're going to get until the auction is over. So if some major volatility event happened, you could potentially get stuck with a rate that's much lower than what you were expecting. So in my opinion, I would not typically purchase new issue US Treasuries with duration longer than 52 weeks. So that leads me to my next example of how to create a US Treasury ladder on Fidelity on the secondary market. Simply click on the Bonds tab and make sure that US Treasury and secondary is selected. For this example, I'm going to set the maturity date range for the next 2 years, and I'll enter the minimum annualized yield of 4.5%. I'll sort by maturity date with the shortest maturity at the top. And as you can see, several US Treasuries maturing over the next 2 years are available to purchase. If I wanted to set up a monthly US Treasury ladder, I could simply purchase one from each month. As a reminder, there is a minimum purchase you need to make to get the stated yield. So you need to click on the depth of book if you want to see what yield you'll get for a lower minimum. For example, if I wanted to purchase just one of this T-bill, I would be getting a yield of 4.529% instead of 4.541%. So the great thing about using this method to create a US Treasury ladder is that you can set it up for many months in advance, all in one sitting. Whereas with new issue T-bills, you'd have to log in week after week or month after month to create your ladder. Another great thing about the secondary market is that you know for sure what rate you're going to get when you place your order. So as I alluded to earlier, I prefer to use the secondary market to purchase any treasuries that have a duration longer than 52 weeks. One of the potential downsides, in addition to having to use the depth of book feature, is that you can't use the auto roll feature when purchasing treasuries on the secondary market. So that's kind of a bummer. So those are the two primary ways that I use to create US Treasury ladders on Fidelity. Let me know in the comments if you've used any of these methods. And if you're interested in learning how to create T-bill ladders on treasurydirect.gov, be sure to watch this video that I made right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.